Ugly truth. It's time to give you some good advice here on Ugly Truth, and we got Sooyoon and Bro Paris in the studio. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
I like your sweater.
Thank you. It's cool.
Yeah. I like guys who can wear designs.
Designs.
Very bold designs. That talks about their personality.
Oh.
That means that you're daring and that you would like to wear anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes a lot of courage to wear something like that.
I like wearing men-to-men shirts. And, yeah.
Sounds
It's
good.
getting colder, so.
Okay. You were posting a lot of... You've been busy these days. Are the pictures that you posted on SNS recent, or were they like taken a long time ago and then you just recently posted them? Like the radio pictures?
They're pretty recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So concerts and...
Yeah, concerts. And mostly concerts abroad.
And then radio.
And radio, yeah. I've been to like China recently. We went to Beijing, Nanjing, and Guangzhou.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna head out to Shanghai, I think, next week or week after next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
Interesting. Has the food been okay while you've been in those regions? They're bigger cities, so...
Yeah, but we haven't really got a chance to eat their food.
Their food.
We only got to like eat 도시락, which is like, you know, those to go
lunch
boxes,
yeah.
like
the Korean style
the
ones?
Korean style ones, yeah. But then the Korean style ones weren't that great. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, because it's they prepare them so much ahead of time as well. Like they're just all cold and yeah,
they're always cold.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you go there and actually order one, they're very good. But the problem is because it's all cold and everything, the side dishes and everything is just kind of like all. Yeah, it's all soggy
and because there's so many other people like dancers and other session people, so we have to kind of match their tastes too. So we always went to like Korean places. We went to like 삼겹살 회식 and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. I see. So you didn't get a chance to actually have some good Chinese food while you're there.
Yeah, I really wanted to.
Yeah. Maybe next time. So we've got our first story from Brazil. It looks like that our listener, from the looks of it, isn't a loyal listener, but just kind of heard from us through friends.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into our first story.
All right. It's from Cecilia. Hello, DJ Isak and Sooyoon oppa. I have heard about you guys by my friends, that you guys are good counselors, so I'll tell you my situation.
Okay.
It all started almost 1 year ago, 1 year and a half ago. I have a college friend that always makes assignments with me. At first, I didn't like him at all, but as time passed by, I realized that he was somehow trying to make me fall for him, so I did. For example, once he played the guitar for me alone, but since I didn't have any relationship experiences, I didn't speak out. And after that, I started to feel really bad because I couldn't express my feelings to him because I was too shy. Nowadays, I think I lost the timing because I feel he isn't interested in me anymore. The biggest problem is that he's gonna study overseas next year. What should I do? Please, RP, come to Brazil. Fighting. Thank you.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Sooyoon would love to go to Brazil.
I didn't know we had so many Brazil fans before. Yeah.
Well, now you can kind of tell the management that we got a lot of fans in Brazil.
Yeah, we want to go.
Yeah, we want to go. All right, so our A and B for today is it's not too late. Muster up the courage and confess to him. B, you already missed out on your chance. Just kind of clear your mind and let him go. What do you think? You're the guy here.
Yeah. I don't know. I had kind of similar experience before.
Okay.
So I had this girl, almost like this lady, who was like a couple years older than me. I met her this is like a long time ago, like 4 years ago maybe. and then we met for work, I think, for some kind of working together, and then we didn't see each other as like guy or girl.
Okay.
Because we had, I think it was like 6 years or 7 years
Okay.
apart. And then we were working together, and then it was all good. And we worked about for like maybe a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of lived our own lives.
Okay.
I think I had her phone number, but
Didn't really.
I never contacted her.
Okay.
And then after that, I didn't even have her phone number. I only had like her SNS.
Ah,
kind of thing.
okay.
And then like 2 years passed, and then I had my girlfriend for 2 years, and I broke up. And then she kind of contacted me through SNS after like 2 years.
Just like randomly.
Yeah, randomly.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay. Oh, hi. I was like, hi, hey, and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, oh, let's meet up, right? So we met up, and then suddenly it was like not work anymore. It was like guy to a girl.
You guys kind of hit it off. There was chemistry there.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think because 2 years passed, she kind of saw me as a guy. Then
Instead of
it's
just.
just like a 동생.
Uh,
Because 2 years passed, and then she was kind of like acting like more like a girl in front of me, I guess.
okay.
Yeah, so, but then the timing was bad because I just recently broke up with my girlfriend, and I didn't really want to start at like another thing with anybody. So, but then I had interested in her, but I just didn't want a girlfriend
Okay.
at that time. So we kind of like went on dates like 3 times, 4 times, and then we just like watched a movie and like ate dinner, but nothing really like progressed
Okay.
after that because I had like my heart closed down
Okay.
for anybody's, and she was kind of like, oh, I guess she's not interested in me anymore, and then it just kind of became like nothing.
Okay.
So I think the timing is really important, but I think back at that time, if I was interested enough for her,
You would have continued.
it continued. But I guess it all depends on how much you like that person.
Okay. So in the end, for Cecilia, it's how much you think she likes the guy.
Yeah, I think if she thinks it's worth a shot to try, maybe it's not too late.
Okay.
But maybe it's not too late.
Okay, so A.
Yeah.
So it's not too late.
Yeah.
You still have about a year. Well, not a year. Actually, you only have a few months. Oh my goodness. Next year is only a few weeks away.
Yeah.
So I don't know when he's going abroad next year, if it's going to be right in January or if it's going to be sometime this time of the year next year.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say, I mean, obviously, if you got the hints that he liked you,
Yeah.
he played the guitar for you,
Oh,
he
yeah.
always wanted to be in the same project with you. I mean, obviously, he dropped enough hints for you to realize that he liked you, and you kind of started liking him as well, even though you're not able to show it. Now I think you're kind of afraid of, should I grab him before he leaves?
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of with Sooyoon with the part where, I don't know, maybe the time apart might help. After listening to what Sooyoon was saying earlier about
Yeah.
his story, about how, the 2 years later it really did help you to look at each other in a different way.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much like, oh, he's so young, he's so little, he's just a 동생. He's now like, oh, he's grown up a little bit, and it's not so much where it's work related. It's
Yeah.
more, actual like, from a guy to a girl
Yeah.
perspective, where they could actually kind of hit it off in a relationship. Maybe the years apart for him to go study overseas might help you
Yeah.
become a different person.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not, you've already missed your chance, forget about it.
Yeah.
It's more of, maybe if you feel right now that he's pushing you away enough
Yeah.
to where you're like, I don't think he's interested in me anymore, maybe you can give that time apart.
Take some time.
Yeah, and then have him see other people, and maybe you see other people,
Yeah.
and maybe grow as individuals. And then maybe when he comes back, if you still have those, butterflies for him, it might help, because in
Yeah.
Sooyoon's situation, it helped, but he dated someone in between, and he wasn't ready for a relationship. That's what was the problem.
Yeah.
If Sooyoon didn't date anybody in between, or even if he did, but if he maybe broke up with her maybe a year before, maybe he would have been ready to jump into the relationship.
Yeah.
You never know. But love for me, I feel, is big on timing.
Yeah.
Big on timing.
It's true.
A lot of people that I've dated, if I would have dated them at a different time slot, I think the relationship would have ended or continued on very differently.
Right.
So right now, Cecilia, I feel that it's
listening to what you have to say. It reminds me of a Korean cliche like 인연이면 다시 결국에 만난다.
Yeah.
This is like,
if you're destined to be, you're gonna meet them anyway.
Yeah.
It's surprising on how you end up running into people again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. You'll meet, and I think it's more so for especially our Korean Americans that meet in Korea, and then we go back to the States or we go somewhere else, and then because Koreans kind of tend to stick together, you end up meeting them again. It's just like, whoa, I saw you in Korea, or I knew you from LA, and then you see you here. You and I, the same thing happened. Didn't you say the first time you and I saw that your brother knew me?
Oh yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So I performed in the States with a girl group at a church because we were kind of started going to that church. Sooyoon's brother went to that church.
Well, I also went to the church. I just didn't see you.
Yeah. And then his brother remembered me. And so after the first RP interview that K-Popin did, he was just like, so my brother said hi. I was like, oh, hi.
Yeah, it's just it's so small.
Yeah, it's so small. It's
recently,
so
I experienced another one. There's one of our fan. She kind of comes to see me a couple time to time.
Okay.
Like in front of our office or practice room.
Okay.
And then, so I say hi a couple times, right? And then a new actor, 연습생 trainee, came into our office. And he always now comes to our office to train, right? And then one time I come to the office and I see my fan and that guy like talking to each other. I was like, oh, I guess like they're just talking. And I went in, and then my fan is like, do you know that guy? Because, and I was like, yeah, he's our new trainee, right? Then she's like, oh no, right? And I was like, why? And they knew each other from before.
So they knew each other personally?
Yeah, personally before.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then she was like, don't tell him that I know him.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then that new trainee comes up to me and he's like, do you know this girl? And I'm like, yeah.
See, it's like you never know who you're going to meet in life.
It's crazy. It's so small.
So Cecilia, I don't want to say B. But when it comes to A, I'm going to say, have the courage to confess to him, but not necessarily now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with A, but not like right this moment. Maybe drop some more hints that you kind of have interest in him.
Yeah.
If he doesn't come around before he leaves, I'd say leave it at that.
Yeah.
Don't push too hard now. And then see when he comes back, if he comes back, if things will go right. So I'm going to go for A, but with a little bit of a different explanation.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Okay.
And I think the guy, it's probably harder for a guy to be like, because since he's leaving next year.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he wants to, start something with her, I think it would be hard for a guy to say like, okay, let's get into a relationship.
Because for both parties, it's a big responsibility to have a long-distance relationship. I feel it could be similar for any Korean couples that if your boyfriend is about to be enlisted into the military service, I mean, he wants to have you as his girlfriend, but obviously you're not going to see each other. There's going to be trust issues there, and all this other stuff. So that there's going to be obstacles, and it's like, shouldn't we just kind of wait till those obstacles kind of go over and then start a relationship? But anyways, I'd go with A. So for our listeners, A or B, who do you think, or how do you think should Cecilia handle this? Should she confess? It's not too late. Or we think that, this boat has already sailed. Don't waste your time. It's either A or B. Send those in and we'll be sending you guys a prize for that. Busker sang it, and I think this is totally true. 사랑은 timing, love is timing, and we'll see you after this with our next story.
All right.
yes, love is all about timing. Indeed. I'm not so against people that have a big age gap between them, honestly, as long as they meet at the right time.
Yeah.
I feel that if a girl in her mid to late 20s meets a guy that's a lot older than her,
Yeah.
I feel that she's ready to settle down. So obviously, if the guys around her are not ready to settle down,
Yeah.
looking towards somebody who's a lot older to settle down with, I think is works. Also, maybe if a guy's maybe past 30 or maybe in his late 20s and he meets an older girl maybe in her 40s ish or 50s, maybe even, I think that would match too, age wise. That timing for them, because he's ready to settle down and whatnot, and maybe if someone he likes. Maturity wise, is a little bit older. His experience life a little bit more, is not around his girls his age that are still kind of like into clubbing and getting all dolled up and all that other stuff. I think that would also match, but that also too is love is timing in that aspect, in my opinion. When it comes to our first story, it's a little bit about timing. Should our listener, Cecilia from Brazil, give the guy that she is kind of fallen for now, who kind of was crushing on her first, should she kind of confess, just kind of let him know how she feels before he leaves to study abroad next year, or should she let him go? That's A or B. Violet from the USA is our next story.
All right. So she's starting from Psy.
Yes, there's a big old sigh from the first story.
So I have a best friend, and I'm really close with her little brother, because he's just like my little brother. And he was telling me that he has been going through a really hard time with his parents and friends. Because he's really different compared to his parents, I try to comfort him by letting him be him with me. I'm really close with her family. I'm really close with their family as well, and I admire his parents. But I think his parents are a little more traditional, just like my parents. He's not traditional at all, and so he's blaming it on his parents' morals and religion, and he is growing distant. I don't know what to do. I want him to be closer with his parents and his sister more than me, but I don't know what to do. Please help.
Okay, you have a brother. So this is going to help if you have siblings. I don't have siblings.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't have siblings.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this is going to work. I have cousins who are kind of like my siblings because I literally raised them. But from actually having someone from the same mom, like from the same womb. I mean, obviously you guys share different things. I would assume.
Yeah. But actually, my brother and I are pretty close. We're very close, and we have like similar morals.
Okay.
Nowadays, but I guess back then, because we have 5 years apart, we were 5 years apart. More than morals, I think it was just the age gap.
Okay.
And when I was in like elementary school, he was in junior high. When I was in junior high, he was in high school, and when I was in high school, he was in college. And so I was more, I guess. So when he was in college, he started smoking, and I was like, "Why is he smoking?" And he would come like drunk one day, like at night. I was like, "Oh, he's drunk," like.
You're still so young and naive.
I was super young and naive, and I was so innocent, and I thought that was like. No way. Yeah. There's no way like one of our family members
is going to smoke or
drink. And so I kind of like, I was almost disappointed at that time at my brother. I was like, how can he, smoke and drink? And this was like when I was like going to church all the time too. And when the pastor's like, no drinking, no smoking, I was like, oh, like why is my brother like that? And that was kind of like, we didn't really talk to each other back then.
Okay.
So yeah. And so I guess that was kind of like how I was.
Well, it's a growing process too.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, having a 5-year age difference with your brother, I mean, obviously, when you were in elementary school and he's in junior high, he'd be like, hey, there's this new game, let's go play together. Like, he's more like that. And then high schools, too, you know, it's like, hey, here's my book from junior high, you can use it, that kind of stuff. But then once he gets into college, he becomes more of his own person. But you're still home and you're sheltered by your parents and your church and everything. I was like that when I first came to Korea. I was just like, smoking, drinking, why? Ew, 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 everybody go away, you're going to hell. But yeah, I think that, you know, the world kind of rubs off on you as you get older, and you become more, I feel, open-minded as you get older. And I'm guessing that Violet, right now, you know, your friend's brother is probably been, in my opinion, I don't know if they're, I'm guessing that you're older than he is, that's why he's constantly talking to you, but he himself has somehow, thanks to his friends or whatever it may be, he's open to the world. And, you know, the world is rubbing off on him a lot more than his family and his sister at the moment. And so that's why he doesn't understand anything. Yeah. And that's why the family doesn't understand him, because he shouldn't be acting like that at that age. Yeah, right. And so I know where you're coming from, and I know that you want him to be closer to his sister. Yeah. But you're going to have to give him time with that one. I don't think anything is going to help right now.
And I think it happens a lot with families who immigrated. I think just like my parents, where they grew up in Korea and they've seen only the Korean society, and then they want their kids, which is me, to kind of, they look at me with that kind of perspective. Exactly. And I go to school and I hang out with like American friends, and I go to, you know, other places, and I see all kinds of different stuff, where my parents, they're still kept inside the Korean society. And that was a big gap there. And I couldn't understand my parents, because they're, I guess they're more traditional in Korean ways, and I was more open to, you know, seeing different stuff, seeing different people. I realized that way is not the only right way to live. Of course. Yeah. Of course. It was hard to convince them that that's not the only way to live, you know?
And it's because they're our parents, it's even hard to tell them to change their ways, because they're a lot older than us, and they're a lot used to living that way. So like Sooyoon said, and I have to make a really a big point here, actual parents in Korea are a lot more open-minded in Korea at the moment than our parents for Korean Americans that are living currently in the States. So they immigrated in the 70s, 80s, or early 90s. I visited Korea in the early 90s. It looked like the U.S. in the 50s. So the cars, the development, because of the war in Korea, for us to pick the pieces back up, for Korea to actually look like a city and an actual, like, you know, place where people were, you know, living, and there's like skyscrapers and there's apartments. This only happened within the past 10 to 15 years. I've been here 15 years, and I've seen Korea change a lot in the 15 years that I've been here. It's become very fast-paced, and it's become very high-tech in the past 15 years, even when I've been here. So with our parents who left 20, 30 years ago, they left when there was still dirt roads here, when there was only like a few bus lines. There was only one single subway in Korea. We have now like, what, 15 lines now running through the subway system? It's become so connected and so high tech since our parents have left. And then they, of course, left. They landed in the States when the U.S. was very open-minded, but very not so open-minded as well, depending on where you move to. And most of the areas that our parents live in are very proper, well brought up, very Christian. Kind of uptight neighborhoods. And so I feel that once you're out of a traditional family, what it is just let them be. Let them be with that. Family, when it comes to this, is tough. And for my family, I want to ask you, when it comes to your family's religious standpoint, is there a mix of religion in your family by any chance?
Actually, all of my other family members are like my relatives, they're all Christian except my parents. So my parents are not Christian.
Okay.
But all of other family members are Christian. And actually my parents have been to churches, but they just didn't stick with it.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
My mom's side of the family is divided to my grandma down to like the fourth sister is Christian. The rest of my family is Buddhist.
Oh, really?
And there is so much fighting between these two religions.
Right.
When I look at both religions, there's no reason to fight.
Yeah.
But they choose to fight for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Because both of them become so close-minded in a very open-minded religion. So that becomes a problem within families as well. So I totally understand where Violet's coming from. But I think that Violet, right now, the biggest thing that you can do is just be there for the brother.
Yeah. And maybe comfort the brother by telling him that, you know, everybody's different, but some people have hard time accepting that everybody's different.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think
they signed me off of our admin page. I think we're getting too many messages. It signed me off. I pressed a message and it said error. I was like, what happened?
Oh.
But yeah, I feel that when it comes to siblings, it's Harlan is saying my younger sister and I don't have a big age gap. We don't have this kind of problem, and I think we can't really just do anything on it. Even if we do, you just kind of have to let it ride out. I can't help but smile on how Sooyoon reacted when his brother came home drunk, knowing now how Sooyoon loves to drink too to a certain extent.
That's why we're like really close now.
But no, it happens.
Yeah.
My older cousin, there's a 7-year age gap between us, and he's really scary. So a lot of people think that I have an older brother when I'm an only child, and that's because he was around when I was growing up a lot. So he literally acted like my older brother. But when I first saw him smoke, I was just like, you traitor! No, you can't do this, and you can't say you're going to church. You can't go to church. Either go to church or smoke. Do one or the other. Don't sing. I used to be that kind of a little cousin, but I think as the world rubs off on you, you change. So Violet, I think that right now, Sooyoon and I agree that, you know, just being there for your friend's brother is the best thing that you can do. It'll pass over in a few years or so.
Yeah, right. I think time is, you know, only gonna help.
Exactly. In this one.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a listen to a quick song, and then we're gonna come back with our next story. Continue to send an A or B for Cecilia for our first story.
Cool.
홍대광의 sing 가족 family, and we'll see you guys after this.
See ya.
Okay, Mara says, a little bit off topic. Is Sooyoon gonna sing anytime soon again? Yes, we're gonna make him sing soon, don't worry. You're practicing you, right?
Oh, yeah.
You!
All right.
Sing for me! I want to hear you sing you.
All right.
Okay. We're moving on to the Philippines with our next story. Back on topic.
All right.
Just call me A for anonymous.
Yeah.
So A.
So it's from A, from Philippines. Here is my bembung story.
Aww.
A few months ago, a new guy was hired in the office. Let's call him X.
Oh, he's not B, he's X.
X and I have gotten quite close very quickly. We would go out for drinks almost every week. I also really liked his sense of humor. After a while, I realized that I liked him. I try to leave hints that I like him, like texting him once in a while, staying late in the office waiting for him to finish so we can get dinner together and go home together. He was very sweet. One time, the team had beers after office, and the conversation went on to the topic of dating. He was put on spotlight, and he revealed that he's kinda dating someone. I was a bit sad and heartbroken about it. And 2 weeks ago, his Facebook status just changed to in a relationship. This is where the fun starts. Yesterday was his birthday, and I got the shock in a lifetime. He made an announcement about who he was dating. And it is a guy. It is a guy. Alright, mental breakdown? Totally. I even suspected another girl from the office. I'm left in shock. I have nothing against gays. My flatmate is one. I guess I'm just so in shock on how I didn't even get a clue. And yes, he's had girlfriends before. What do I do? How do I prevent this from happening again? Thank you.
Okay, so A, your gaydar was a little off.
Gaydar.
Your gaydar was a little off. And you thought that this really cute, good-looking guy was interested in you when he was just your BFF. I kind of envy you, though, girl. I really, really, really want this kind of friend.
Yeah.
I think it's a very selfish thing for girls.
Yeah.
And I know that it is. And it's become a big fad thanks to Sex and the City. I know. But the reason why I talk about this so personally is because my mom is a hairstylist, and so I have seen a lot of bisexuals and gays in the business.
Yeah.
Because beauty knows no gender, pretty much.
Right.
If a guy knows how to do makeup, he knows how to do makeup. It doesn't matter who he dates in his personal life.
Right.
Just because he has good style or fashion sense, even in the fashion world. Just because a guy has dresses well does not mean that he likes guys.
Yeah.
He just knows what he likes when he wears clothes.
Yeah.
I just have to say that I would be hurt too. But I think it's not just because he announced that he's dating a guy. I think it was announced. I think because you found out who that person was is what's hurting you instead of the fact that it was a guy.
Yeah.
I'd say this is an opportunity, A. You got a new best friend. Oh my goodness. Can I have him?
Yeah.
I want him.
I heard it's like every girl's fantasy.
It is a
to
fantasy.
Have a gay friend.
It is.
Why
Thanks to
is
Sex
that?
and the City.
Why is that?
Well, and that's why I said we're selfish.
Yeah.
It's because Sooyoon, if you were per se, just for saying,
right.
If you chose to like guys instead of girls,
Mm-hmm.
you're good looking, you're tall, you dress well, and I can take you out and you can be my arm candy. But I don't have to worry about having any strings attached, and it's still talking with the opposite sex.
I see.
So us girls, we get the comfort and the protection that we want from a male.
Yeah.
But we can talk about fashion, nails, boyfriends, and it's all the same thing. But so that's why I say that we're selfish. That's why I say that we're selfish in that aspect of wanting that kind of a friend. I would love to have your friend. Send me his number. I feel that I feel that society has started to label people a lot more.
Yeah.
Just because a guy acts a certain way does not mean that he's gay. Just because a girl acts a certain way does not mean that she's gay.
Yeah.
I feel that, everybody has their own style. And whether that person dates somebody else or has dating preferences that are different does not necessarily come out in their everyday attire. But these days, it feels like the whole label has become, because that person knows how to dress and is good looking, he's gay.
Oh, yeah. No.
It's become, that stereotype has become more fashion-wise and appearance than actual dating styles.
Yeah.
No one's going to come up to me and say, oh, I think you date just bad guys. No one does that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think that dating, like, that type of this, I'm surprised that he didn't drop any hints otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, she's asking how she could prevent this from happening again. But can you, as a girl, can you tell if a guy is gay?
I can. I feel that my gaydar is pretty high up.
Oh, really? Gaydar.
And the reason is because even for girls though, like I said, when I went back to the States, I was doing an acting course at New York Film Academy. My monologue teacher was lesbian, but the two, and then one of our other students, she had a partner. I think she's now married because the law has passed. But she had been living with her partner. I could tell that they had a preference for women as their dating partners, and it was because the way that they acted.
Right.
They were very not so girly when it came to girls. So when girls meet, they're like, hi! Like, you know, we become like our little girly selves. But they were just very laid back. They're just like, hi. They kept their distance, I have to say.
I see.
For guys, I feel that guys who tend to take preference in other guys, they're more touchy-feely with girls. As in, they'll hug, pat, touch, hold hands, hold your knee, do stuff a lot more. So the physical aspect, in my opinion, pops out in when I've seen people.
I think it only kind of you just know as you grow up.
You get a vibe
as you meet
from
more people. I think it's a lot of vibe thing. It's just like the way their eyes stare or something like that, like small things. I think I have to say.
And also I have to say that guys who tend to be attracted to other guys are not as macho man as most guys. No, what I mean is when you're in a restaurant, they'll be nice, polite, they'll pull your chair out, they'll be a gentleman, but they won't get offended easily like typical macho men, if you get what I mean. Like in a bar, if you and I were at a bar and somebody was checking me out, obviously if you and I were kind of sort of on a date, you pulled out my chair and I thought that you were hitting on me, you would be upset that another guy was trying to hit on me. But for you to not care about that obviously shows that either you really don't have any interest in me and you're just being polite, or you have no interest in me at all. So I think that to help you prevent this I think that stop taking guys who are being gentlemen as guys who are interested in you, because there are true gentlemen out there.
Have anything like this happened to you before?
I like I said, when I'm in Korea too long, and I meet my Korean American oppas, they pull my chair out, they open the door for me when I get in a cab. I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, I forget how nice guys can be. So I'd have to say that, there are true gentlemen out there. So being nice gestures should be just taken as that, I think. We're actually kind of overtime today. So let's go back to our first story. For Cecilia, for either Team A or Team B to confess or not to confess, that is the question. From the same country of Brazil, Mayara, I'm gonna give you the prize today since Team A won.
Cool.
I think you can show him your best side. It's never too late to try. Step by step, loves like a house. In the basement, you organize your mind. In the first floor, you gain self-confidence, and in the third floor, you open up your heart to the experiences. Ooh, that was very nice. So that is the winner for today. Our last track is going to be Hwisong and Geeks' track 친구로 남아줄게. Let's just stay friends. We'll see you next week.
See you, bye.
Bye.